Bon, on est de retour sur Victime Paratroll là. Donc on recommence depuis le début. Ah putain, il faut quand même savoir que je le filme pas parce que bon voilà, mais dès que vous lancez le jeu, avant d'arriver sur les menus du jeu quoi, pour commencer à jouer, les paramètres etc., le jeu commence directement par vous casser les couilles. Mais pour de la merde, genre à chaque fois il te demande l'heure et puis en fonction de ce que tu vas mettre, de toute façon il va te casser les couilles. Enfin, c'est n'importe quoi, genre à peine tu cliques sur le bouton de démarrer, le truc te brise les burnes d'entrée de jeu. Voilà, comme ça au moins ça pose les bases, c'est nickel. Bref, donc on recommence, on va essayer de faire ça gentiment. Et puis on va voir ce que ça donne. Donc, alors. Bah visiblement je crois que je lui ai tellement bien fait fermer sa gueule que du coup on l'entend plus Maurice là hein. Bon, alors, qu'est-ce qu'on doit faire déjà? Donc, on s'est fait baiser, on est parti. Ouais, voilà, ok. Ok, Maurice, on va prendre celle de gauche, pas de problème. Je te suis, ok. Vu que visiblement t'étais pas content que j'ai pris la droite, on va prendre la gauche, pas de problème, je vais faire le bisu. Allez, on est parti. Mhm.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Voilà, donc on retourne voir le patron. Le placard à balai, on s'en bat les couilles parce que sinon il va nous faire chier.
Coming to a staircase,
Voilà,
Stanley walked
maintenant on monte les
upstairs to
marches
his
pour aller
boss's
voir le
office.
patron qui n'est pas là dans son super bureau. Est-ce que d'ailleurs le fait d'avoir fait autrement ça change quelque chose? Ah, mhm. To be rich, it's a cream. To commit what life. Ah, d'accord, ok, donc ça a quand même une influence sur les trucs. Bon, voilà, voilà, badaboum, badaboum. Alors, quoi qu'il se passe du coup?
Stepping into his manager's office,
Mhm.
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
C'est vraiment un bureau de
Shocked,
patron ça quand même.
unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this.
Mais
What
qu'est-ce qui a
dark
bien pu
secret
se
was being
passer?
held from him?
On s'en bat les
What he
couilles!
did
Allez,
not know
vas-y!
was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned him
Un
an
code
extra
numérique ultra
secret
confidentiel
PIN
qui
number,
est 2845.
28845.
Wouh!
But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Eh oui, Stanley n'aurait pas pu le deviner forcément.
Incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the
Et là,
keypad,
go
Stanley
to
could
the
achieve
Batcave!
correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
Mhm. Donc, jusqu'ici tout va bien, on retourne à la Batcave. Ah. Allez, zou, c'est parti. Alfred! Où es-tu, Alfred?
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Que s'est-il passé dans la tête de Stanley? Il a découvert que son cerveau fonctionnait. Incroyable. Ouh là là. Bon. Ok, donc jusque là tout va bien, schéma classique,
Stanley
on
walked
connaît,
straight ahead
nani
through the
gna.
large door that read Mind Control
Voilà,
Facility.
maintenant la question c'est, qu'est-ce qu'on fait? Eh ben, soit il te dit pas, tu vois. On va quand même retourner là-bas, parce que moi j'ai quand même envie. On va péter la machine du coup, c'est pas grave. On va péter la machine. Tout le monde veut qu'on pète la machine, on va péter la machine. Allez,
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What
ordinateur,
horrible
trouve-moi le
secret did
joker.
this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Oui. Gna 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 gna. Ça me fait penser à Alien, ça. Il me semble qu'il y a un truc comme ça. Il y a ce genre de pièce là vers la fin. Ouais, ouais. Je crois. flûte.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the
Et là,
building.
il s'est rendu compte qu'avec tous ces écrans qui
The
fonctionnent,
lives of so many
vu les prix de
individuals,
l'électricité
responsibilities
actuellement, ça
on
devait
the
coûter une
screen.
fortune.
One of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom
Où est
meant
notre...
nothing.
Non, c'est quoi? C'est 427. On est là. On est là. On est là. Dans le poulailler. Regardez le super bureau. Mhm. Ah putain, je voulais sauter, on peut même pas sauter quoi. Scandale. Scandalous. Alors.
This
Et là.
mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe
Ah
it
oui,
couldn't be
ah oui.
true. Had
Son pauvre
Stanley
cerveau
been
de
under
poule
some
atrophié ne
control
pouvait
all
pas
this
croire
time?
ce qu'il se
Was this the only
passait.
reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Oui. Oui. C'est bien. Allez, vas-y Francis,
He
envoie la soudure.
refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never.
Il était
It
contrôlé
was
par quelqu'un
unthinkable.
d'autre.
Wasn't
Mais
it?
qui était-ce?
Was it even possible?
Une femme.
He spent his entire life utterly blind to the world.
Merde, excusez-moi, pardon.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
The operation. Controls labeled with emotions.
Oui.
Happy
Oui.
or sad or content. Walking, eating,
Donc.
working. All of it monitored and
Gna gna gna
commanded
gna
from this
gna.
very place. And
Normalement,
as the cold reality of his past
il
began
faut
to sink
aller
in, Stanley
éteindre le
decided that
bordel.
this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another
Voilà,
human
voilà,
life.
Stanley décide
For
de
he
sauver les gens
would
qui
dismantle
sont
the
aussi cons que
controls
lui.
once and for
Il va
all.
appuyer sur le bouton magique qui est enclenché. Et là, je vous préviens, si s'il se passe la même merde que tout à l'heure, moi je me casse. Moi je fous le feu à la maison, je me barre. Ah. Eh oh. Fin du jeu, voilà, nickel, parfait. Parfait, parfait. C'était sympa, un petit jeu qui dure 7 minutes. Ah non.
And a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Ouais, il a gagné, ça on n'en sait rien.
Unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was
Qu'est-ce que
mere
c'est que cette
moments away.
merde?
And yet, even as the immense door
Pendant que
slowly
la
opened,
porte s'ouvrait
Stanley
lentement.
reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone?
Ils ont disparu, voilà où ils sont. Et ça fait longtemps qu'ils sont
What
partis
other
parce qu'ils
mysteries
sont
did this
pas
strange
attendus.
building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he
Wow.
realized none of this mattered to him. For it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking,
Qu'est-ce que c'est que
but
cette merde?
happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do.
Where we go? Est-ce que
how
tu...
to feel.
Est-ce que vous sentez
Whatever
pas que...
life he lives,
What the fuck?
it will be his. And that
Et
was
là en
all
fait c'est
he
juste un
needed.
putain d'écran.
It was perhaps
Y'a rien du tout.
something worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
C'est une porte ça vraiment? Vous êtes sûr de vous là?
Stanley
Ooh.
felt the cool breeze upon
Wow.
his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Ah voilà, Stanley est heureux, youpi, bonne soirée. Et là en fait ce gros troll. What the fuck? Non, 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 pas possible. What? Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel? Attendez, là. Attendez. Attendez! What the fuck?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go deeper. Perhaps he had
Attendez là, qu'est-ce que c'est? Attendez. J'y crois pas. Moi je disais ça en rigolant à la base, hein, Je pensais pas, hein, c'était pour rire, c'était une blague, hein, c'était... Me dites pas que... Non, ouais.
When Stanley came to a set of two open
Attendez, vous
doors,
savez ce qu'on va
he
faire?
entered the door on his
On va
left.
recommencer et on va aller vers la sortie voir. Mais me dites pas que... Attendez, pas que ça se passe comme
Yet
ça.
there was not a single person
Oui,
here
il y avait
either.
personne et tout, pas de
Feeling
qu'on
a
fait.
wave of
Gna
disbelief,
gna.
Stanley decided to go up to his
Oh, je
boss's
m'en fous.
office, hoping he might
J'ouvre le
find
placard à balai.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here. So he turned
Vite,
around
je veux
and
me
got
tuer.
back on track.
Bon. Et là, il se
Coming
passe
to a
quoi là?
staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Là, il se passe quoi? Ah! Moi, je suis pas d'accord, moi. Moi, je suis pas d'accord, je veux pas que ça se passe comme ça. Ça va pas se passer comme ça, mais je vous le dis, moi.
But Stanley just couldn't do
Oh
it.
merde.
He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for
En
that.
fait,
And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk?
allez pas me dire que du coup, si on suivait bêtement le Jean-Michel qui discute là.
And then something occurred
Mais
to
ta
Stanley.
gueule, ta gueule.
Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy.
Oui, tu
All of
fous.
my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they
Est-ce que tu vas te taire, s'il te plaît? Tais-toi, tais-toi.
This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone.
No.
He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to
Ah,
himself,
qu'est-ce que
"So
c'est que
long
ce
as
bordel?
I'll have to go back
Ça y est.
to my boring real-life job
Ça y est,
pushing
là on est
buttons.
dans la
I
merde.
may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid." So, he
Ah,
imagined
attendez,
himself
attendez.
flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Ouais. Oh.
Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared.
Putain, mais
It
qu'est-ce
was
que c'est?
so much fun.
Mais
and
tais-toi!
Stanley remembered that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Mais tu vas te
describing me,
taire.
thinking
Arrête de
about how
parler,
it's
bordel.
describing my thoughts,
Arrête
he
de
thought.
parler.
And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams,
Gna, gna, gna,
the
gna,
truth
gna,
was,
gna.
of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he
Quoi?
doesn't have to take
Mais qu'est-ce que
responsibility
c'est?
for it? Stanley
Qu'est-ce
is
que
as
c'est?
awake as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for sure beyond a doubt that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical
Bon.
stars just a moment ago? How else would the
Alors,
voice explain
qu'est-ce
all
qui se
that?
passe?
This voice was a
Ça va
part of
durer longtemps
himself
comme ça,
too.
ou?
Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that
Oui,
he was in
oui.
control, that
Oui.
this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to
Ah ouais, non mais ouais, parce que là ça va
He
plus là.
felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce truc? Mais
the
putain, je
fresh
comprends
air
rien
of the
ce jeu,
world
bordel.
outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it
Ah
would be over.
putain.
Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please,
Qu'est-ce que
it's
c'est que
all I
cette
want.
merde?
I want my
Oh,
apartment
secours!
and my wife and my job. All I want is my life.
Oui,
exactly the way
allez,
it
arrête
has
de
been.
parler, envoie la
My
soudure.
life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine.
Oui, tout va bien.
I am
Oui, tout va bien, tout va bien.
okay.
Bon, mais
Stanley began
je vais
screaming.
prendre un coca.
Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be
Qu'est-ce qui se
real.
passe?
I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Whoever.
Je vais crever, je vais exploser.
And everything went black.
D'accord.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel?
Dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments, she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy.
Hey,
This much she
me dis
knew.
pas que c'est nous là, me dis pas qu'on est
Everyone
mort là,
knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind.
Qu'est-ce que c'est que ce bordel?
It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Ah, et donc, on... Tada. Parfait. Parfait, parfait. Oui. C'est... Nice move. Impeccable. What the fuck? What the fucking fuck? Attendez, bougez pas, je vais prendre rendez-vous chez mon psy, je reviens. Bon, bah écoutez, on va. Mais du coup, on va essayer de prendre la sortie, du coup, voir ce que ça donne, parce que. Si mais non, mais quand même, ça peut pas être ça. Parce que du coup, la porte de droite. La porte de droite, ça nous a ramené au même endroit. Mais du coup, ça aurait rien changé. La porte de gauche nous a amené au même endroit. Du coup, j'ai fait stop. Et en théorie, ce qui me fait flipper, c'est que du coup, bah, on est sauvé. Si on va en bas des escaliers, on va au sous-sol où c'est n'importe quoi et on finit par se suicider. Et donc il reste la sortie en fait à faire. Il reste la sortie, voir ce que ça va donner. Ou alors, en fait il reste plusieurs choix. Il reste soit on va à la sortie et on verra ce que ça donne. Soit on va du côté droit et on fait le truc pour désamorcer et on voit ce que ça donne. Soit on va du côté gauche et ce coup-ci on active la machine et on voit si ça fait la même merde que l'autre fois. Mais qu'est-ce que c'est cette merde? Bref, bon, allez, je vous dis à la prochaine. Je vais pleurer.